G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, playing in the orange as the English, we've got Rupert 4943. And on the opposite side of the map, spawning in as the Holy Roman Empire on the color red, it is the one, the only, TheViper. Ladies and gentlemen, he is back and he is at it again with the I'm trying to remember what that meme was from. You remember it was like memes from 2014, memes from 2015. Oh, damn Daniel. They were the old school memes, weren't they? Oh geez. You guys remember where we went through a phase where our memes were just like so deep fried, like the E meme? Oh man, that was the best. That was the best meme. They were the days. I mean, when you look back on the old school memes though, and I know we've gone on a bit of a tangent here, like, you know, remember like the animal advice or advice animals, like the pterodactyl meme, like, is a pterodactyl a... Oh my lord. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another game with the Viper. We are literally watching, witnessing, and waiting for every single Viper game that there is. I've been so long without the Viper. You just know I need to get my fix. I'm getting months worth of fixes right now. And Viper getting months worth of sheep. He's opened up with a double scout opening here compared to Rupert, who's only opened single scout. You can see that opening so far, netting 7 sheep in total for Rupert. Compare that over to the Viper, who's sitting on 10 sheep. And he's also got pretty decent map control as he picks up his 11th one. And moves to the center for even more sheep, 12th sheep potentially. There are, of course, 24 sheep that spawn on every map, and this map is no different, being the one and only The Pit. We did see an earlier Viper game on this one, and I'm curious as to whether it will end up in the same result or whether it will be different, of course. But we do see Viper, unfortunately, finding out the hard way that the town center is indeed a little bit close to the middle of the map here. Keeps the scout alive, fortunately. Villagers, 4 of them on gold, so looks like pretty standard stuff over on the English side for the most part. Now, I think the question is, where do we go from here? I'm expecting a little bit of a feudal fight into just a standard castle age. So Viper probably going to be the kind of guy who goes for a regnance. I'm suspecting this is a pretty forward far council hall, so we might have a little bit of early action out here. But typically in this matchup, English want to try and get to the castle age as well, want to try and start contesting those relics. But you will see early pressure coming out. The King's Palace, of course, a very important landmark to try and get online. So you've got that village account climbing, but of course you really want to be careful up against the Holy Roman Empire. By the same token, for the Holy Roman Empire, look at this Viper right now, just struggling with the macro. You know, it's been some time since the Viper's really had much to do. He's gonna lose his scout over here if he's not careful. Indeed, he's not careful. Scout goes down. Is Viper playing blind right now? Hold on. Did he lose both scouts? Oh, no, never mind. The second scout's right here. You just can't see, Drongo. You're a little bit blind. We'll give you that. Yeah, so the Viper has been out of it for a long time. He's been playing Age of Empires 2. I don't actually have any details on how long it was. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 3 months. I'd say probably 3 months hasn't touched the game. So it's been a while. We've been through a number of different patches. You know, a whole new season has started. We've obviously got the Road to Red Bull that's been going on and been pushing the meta up pretty far. But obviously a lot of those maps aren't in the ranked map pool. So the meta obviously a little bit different when it comes to that. But we can see Rupert here going just with the classic opening. We've seen Viper play before with the English, opt for a more farm-orientated build order in the Dark Age. But Rupert here going to be very early, very aggressive. Viper really going to be going up against a very aggressive English opening. Something that we actually used to see all the time. This was just your stock standard English build order back in the day. And now we see double longbow coming out. And where is he rallied? Oh, he's got a little bit of an interesting rally point here. So instead of just going straight through the center, he's going around that little cliff face. And then he's going to look to put pressure over onto this eastern gold mine. So the question is going to be whether Viper looks to try and get down a stable. And up against the English, it's a really important thing to try and get this out early if you can get a stable out, because realistically, the Holy Roman Empire wants to get a stable out anyway, because once they hit the castle age, they're going to need knights to start contesting those relics. So you might as well get it down in the feudal age and get out a couple of horsemen to deal with this. By the same token, you'd expect that Rupert might start thinking about going for a bit of a reactive barracks, but we do see he's very focused and intent on just gathering up food and wood for the most part as those longbowmen continue moving out across the map. And indeed, Viper going to be rushing up that stable. We can see 4 villagers looking to get that one under control. He is over on gold for the moment. I suspect he's going to have to fall back from that. The longbow is coming in continually. But the wood line should be okay. I mean, worst case scenario, just moves these guys up a little bit further and gets annoyed. But we do see the scout doing well. Also, the wolf going to get involved in the action and going to be forcing these longbows back, coming up empty-handed for the most part, or for the moment. Rupert, for anybody wondering, quite a good player. At first I saw his name, I'm like, oh, Rupert, this guy's gonna be like barely top 50,000. Nope, he's top 20. He's quite good. He's a smurf, evidently so, or either that or a prodigy, one of the two. But now Viper gonna be under attack over on this mill. Was looking to try and get the mill down. The first horseman gonna be coming out. This should be able to deny this early aggression. The one thing the Viper's got to be careful of, though, is if he looks to focus down that villager instead. But you can see Viper doing a decent job. Tried to get the palings down. Not going to be with any luck there. And able to clean up the early longbow aggression. We'll ride back on board with Rupert and see how he's doing this. We've actually got a sneaky little stable from Rupert himself. So very interesting position here. And he's gone for a double mill. What is this build order from Rupert? This is very, very curious. This is not something I expected to see. We've basically seen an English rush force out the stable from the Holy Roman Empire, and then just from there, just chill out. He's gone and dropped down a whole bunch of farms. Not at all interested in the gold mine for the moment. Now going to be getting out a few more longbows, just playing very cheeky. I like this very hit and run style, isn't it? You know, not really interested in doing a big consistent attack, just focusing on the extremities of the enemy base. But we'll ride back on board with the Viper and see how he's doing, as he's got for a double broadaxe. Viper, what are you up to here? Double broadaxe wheelbarrow as the Holy Roman Empire. Not something that you see every day, that is for sure. So Viper really coming back to Age of Empires 4 with a refreshed mind, a different approach to the game. I wonder what he's going to be able to achieve here. He's actually got archery ranges coming down now. It's going to be an archery range and a stable, as well as a barracks. GUA would be proud. It's the 111 in the feudal age. You know how it is. So whether he goes into men-at-arms here, whether he just maybe adds in some spears, I suspect, yeah, he's spotted out that stable. So that should mean that he looks to go into spears just to deal with those. But at the same token, Rupert, he's gotten heavy right now on food. There's so many farms just being added in non-stop. Does actually have a berry bush he's going to need to exhaust if he wants to get that last farm down. If you're like me, your obsessive-compulsive disorder will not allow for that berry bush to remain. And unfortunately, you'd have to take it, even if it was at a negative effect to you. But now those horsemen are going to be coming in, get their charge off, looking to try and take down the first villager. They will be successful there. Now turning their attention towards the archers. No spearmen out just yet. That wheelbarrow coming through. It's not going to be of much help here. Finally, those villagers do get away from the horsemen, but it's going to be a little bit too late with that wheelbarrow, unfortunately. But now Viper turning his attention towards the sheep underneath the. Jeez, I'm losing my mind. The Archon Chapel. There we go. Try and go get it out, mate. A little bit of a counterattack. Hold on a minute. What do we got up here? I just saw there was a very brief time. Oh, there. It is Rupert just moving in onto the wood line. He managed to take out a villager as well. Rupert all over the map right now. Just doing an impressive job. I'm loving this double stable as the English. Viper really going up against the English prodigy right now. This is looking very, very impressive from Rupert so far. I didn't realize. I mean, I know he's a talented actor, but this is just something else. Well, we'll have a look now, and obviously he's playing orange. You know that is what you know. It's the important color for Rupert, right? You gotta have that. You gotta have that red, that orange hair. But we've now got the outpost going to be coming and providing a little bit of line of sight here for the Viper. Also a blacksmith going down in the back of the base. Curious positioning here, curious decision as well. Not too focused on getting up to the castle age. Now, one of the things to be important in this matchup is Imperial Age timing. So for the Viper, he's going to be looking to try and get that Imperial Age. At least, I suspect he's going to be looking to try and go for Imperial. Because typically, I mean, he's coming from an older meta where Imperial was all, you know, everything that the Holy Roman Empire dreamed of was Imperial. It seems to have fallen a bit off the back burner now. They look to typically fight it out a bit more in the Castle Age now. So I think it's kind of, you got to be careful going up against the English as well. They're not notorious for their strength in the Castle Age, but they're still pretty decent when it comes to those sort of later Castle Age pushes when you get a little bit closer to the Imperial Age. But Viper now going to be dropping down the landmark. Let's see where he goes for it. It's the Regnitz Cathedral, no surprise. 2 relics towards the north, 2 relics down towards the south. This one a little bit closer to the middle, and of course this relic here actually on the enemy side over on the west side. But Viper might be getting cleaned up here. We can see that he's doing a decent job to fall back, but unfortunately Rupert just outnumbering him right now with the amount of cav that he's got. I'm loving this opening from Rupert. It just makes so much sense. You start off with longbows. because that's what you're English, right? You send out your first longbows, you just do a little bit of early harassment, then behind that you add in your farms, then eventually add in the stable. Second age up now coming through, it's going to be the King's Palace. And then from there, you're in a really decent spot. You've got great map control. The longbow's just out here being pesky on the walls, pesky on the wood lines. And as a result, the horseman number really starts to build up. So Rupert looking very solid, but by the same token, Viper is now heading up to the next stage as well. Only got that one stable, though, and that is something that could live to haunt him. Typically, the Holy Roman Empire love to go for that 3-4 stable in the castle age as soon as they open up into the castle age. Nice little counterattack from the Viper coming in, and look at this. Immediately, the villagers are like, yo, what up? And then they hit back at the horsemen. And we've got more outposts coming up now. One of the things to note here, Rupert is looking to deny out these relics. Beautiful little spot here. 1-2 relics. Now, the advantage to doing this is if you can deny those relics away from the Holy Roman Empire, that's a huge amount of gold that they're going to be potentially not able to gain. Viper, realizing this, immediately turns his attention towards that top side. We now see knights in queue for the Viper, an 11-minute age up. Not too fast, not too slow. Plenty of resources in the bank, though, and unfortunately, it only seems the one stable. We'll double check and see whether he added in a second one. No, he didn't. So still only the one stable for now. Now, keep in mind, one of the recent changes that happened for the Holy Roman Empire is that their Regnitz Cathedral now acts as a fully fledged mosque or monastery, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. It can build imams, or rather prelates. It can also take up to 3 relics inside it. The odd one needs to only take 2. But the unfortunate thing is that relics aren't 300 gold each anymore. They are 200 gold each, but it is global, so that has got one thing going for them. Viper, unfortunately, losing off the first prelate. We're going to count them here because Rupert definitely seems on the ball and looks to try and take control of these prelates. We already see a monastery coming out for him. He's looking to be very aggressive with these early relic pickups, and we can see the Viper coming out here and just spotting this himself. He's realizing that, oh, this isn't good. This isn't where you want to be. Now knights coming out onto the field, looking to get their charge out. Indeed, they get their charge. The horseman is going to go down, getting chased away by a couple of wolves, though. Viper also going to be under attack by those wolves. We'll ride on board with Rupert for a little bit and see how his raids go, as he's got that double TC up. So this is where the economy for the English player starts to get good, and he's done a great job of running the Viper around for the moment. You know, Viper instantly into quick match or ranked match, and he gets Rupert on the ladder. This ain't an easy matchup, that is for sure. Obviously, the Viper, no slouch. But by the same token, Rupert definitely an impressive player, that is for sure. This little raid attempt here from the Viper. Gonna be getting spotted out there from Rupert. Rupert says, no, no, no. And indeed, it gets shut down. Plenty of units coming out, though, and I'm loving this this composition from Rupert. Looking super duper good. And obviously, I do imagine that this is Rupert Grint that is playing, role-playing. I mean, he's the Orange, he's playing as the English. Like, it's got to be Rupert Grint. I don't see any two ways around it, and it just makes total sense. Speaking of making total sense, unfortunately for the Viper, it's the second prelate that gets picked up. I don't know how he got that point-blank charge off, because there's no other units around here to click it. But we now see in the middle of the map, Viper looking to try and pick off a longbow from his enemy. No, he's just doing a drive-by, doing a walk-by. Nice. Nice, Viper. Nice. I like it. Appreciate... Oh, that was that a little bait? Was that a little bait right there? I felt like that was kind of a bait. Like, that was intentional for a little bit. Charge came off for a second there as well. Extra damage landing on that spearman. But now we see those relics starting to come in. The first one going to be coming in for Rupert at the same time. The second or first relic also going to be coming in for the Viper. So they are even at the moment. And now Viper finally looks to pick up his own relic. Let's see if Rupert's able to pull off some magic here. Ideally, he'd be able to move around and shimmy over towards that prelate and potentially take it out. More knights for the Viper. Going to get cleaned up, unfortunately. We can see the horsemen together with the knights. Just getting absolutely eaten alive right now by Rupert. Just doing a great job of micromanaging this game, and it really feels like Rupert is yet to skip a beat rather. And economy looking decent, 700, 800 wood in the bank. He's just going ham, so adding in more farms. I mean, watching Rupert play the English makes me want to play the English. He makes it look so easy. I love the way that he's got that control up against the Viper. I mean, I'm a Viper fanboy, but right now I'm cheering for Harry Potter's friends. That is for sure. But now that knight looks like it might actually get taken out. Look, is this? No, don't tell me he's going to block it. Oh my lord, don't tell me he's going to block it. No way. Look at the micro up against the Viper. Jeez, who is Rupert? Who is Rupert? Spam the YouTube comments. Who is Rupert? You for sure ain't Rupert Grinch. This is probably Voldemort right here. This is important. Did I say Rupert Grinch? I meant Rupert Grint. Rupert Grint? Is that his name? Rupert Grint? I think that's his name. But anyway, you guys know what I mean. Like, this is impressive stuff. You wouldn't expect a guy like that to be playing like this. Viper coming in with a little bit of a counterattack, exactly what he needs to, but the number's starting to build up now for Rupert. He's sitting on 24 military population compared to Viper on 12. So he's just been slowly but steadily picked off. It was little throwaways like the Spearman and Archer up here on the front side that just got thrown away, and Viper been getting cleaned up. Beautiful little micro once again over here on that position there from Rupert. He's been looking incredible, but now Viper trying to take control of the relics. He's got 2 in the bag at the moment. Ideally, as the Holy Roman Empire, you'd love to get to 3, but that final relic is all the way across on the other side of the map. Let's see whether Rupert is going for it. Indeed he is. Third relic looking like it may go towards that favor of Rupert. And once again, another knight gets surrounded by the forces of Rupert. Rupert just looking incredible here. Viper almost sitting in his base with just no hope, no clue. What does he do from here? Now the question is, what does he do from here? He's got a couple of options. Number one is he can continue just going mass knights, and I think that's a decent way to go. But the problem is it feels like he's getting outmassed. We now see a second town center coming down for the Viper up towards the north. Definitely the right, it feels like the right time here, but the question is whether he's going to be dying to the English push that is inevitably going to come. We can feel just the unit numbers looking really good. Chargers trying to get off. He backs in, backs out, backs in once again. Spearman opening up the center. Let's see if the Knights are able to jump down on the veteran Longbowman. It doesn't look like it just yet, but he does overwhelm this position. Knights looking decent, but at the same time going to be losing their life. And now able to clean up the remaining Spearmen. We see a counterattack on the base of the Viper as well. A single veteran Longbowman together with his Knight counterpart. And oh my lord, a Horseman. The Horseman's found the town center up towards the north. Viper trying to keep up with the economy of Rupert. Rupert adding in that classic 16-minute wheelbarrow. We can see he's got 66 villages versus the 43. Remember, the relics are pretty even at this point in time. You got that 300 gold a minute versus the 400 gold a minute from the Viper. But the key difference here is Rupert got a free TC. Viper, he got nothing. I mean, he's got the relics, but you guys get what I mean. Walls going up in the middle, looking to try and segregate the bases upon or off from each other. And Viper definitely feeling like at this point in time he's a little bit down in the dumps. It feels like he doesn't have much going for him. He's got the second town center out, but he's going to be able to keep parity with the enemy. But when you're already behind 25 villages, it's not feeling good. So Viper at this point needs to lift. I think the biggest thing for the Viper right now is he needs to get over on the enemy side of the map. He needs to get these raids out. He needs to come out off with some big raids. And now the Knight numbers looking incredible for Rupert. Viper, unfortunately, just going to be in a very tough position. Does force away those Knights with the spears. But ideally, you'd love to have Viper just coming in, looking at these potential angles down here. There's a beautiful little wood line. But then the question is, where are all these villages for Rupert? How many villages? 74 villages. I got no clue where they all are. They're just beautifully hidden or kept safely underneath the town centers, I guess. Classic English town centers. And Scout over on this east side is going to be spotting just in case any attacks do come in. He's closed off pretty much most of the map over here. But then, by the same token, Viper under attack. Viper under attack. Viper, you got to wake up, my friend. We're going to watch a massacre right now as Viper begins to lose all of the villages underneath the town center. He's going to try his best to clean a little bit of it up, but unfortunately, there's just no unity for the Viper. What is going on right now? Viper facing an English just prodigy, it really seems. This is a beautiful build order coming out from Rupert. And now he's going to try and clean this up. We're entering into the cinematic mode as the Viper really looks to go for it now. And at the same time, the Knights looking to repel away from the Viper. Longbowman doing a decent job picking up the spears. Great job. Great micro, Rupert. Keep it up. Keep it together. Knight numbers still looking very healthy for Rupert. Viper going to try and deal with the Longbowman, but it seems like there's just not enough Knights here. He's really struggling to make ends meet over here. There's more villagers up on this position. No springald emplacements coming through just yet, but reinforcements going to be coming over from the west side and coming from the east side, and Rupert looking to overwhelm the Viper right now. It's not looking pretty right now for the man, the myth, the legend, the Viper. Unfortunately, things really not going well in that fight. We'll be taking that cinematic mode off so that we can witness what appears to be the end of the game. I can't see any way that Viper possibly pulls this back. But Rupert's going age 4. Get out of town. Rupert going age 4 with the Wingard Palace despite winning the fight on the front line. Who is this guy? Viper finding out the hard way that Rupert, not a man to be messed with. He is indeed the English prodigy right now. This is insane stuff from him. Villager count 84 versus 44. He's got 40 more villagers, and that age 4 about to come through. Now, any second you could suspect, once that's up, I I can't help but feel like Viper just taps out immediately upon that. How do you even deal with that? You're sitting in your base, Holy Roman Empire. I'm like, oh, I'm not holy, I'm not Roman, I'm not even an empire. And indeed, Viper is not even an empire, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. The Viper is back in the scene. He's back on site. We're going to be casting his games all week, all month, all night long. Don't go anywhere because there's more Viper coming up.